Hi, guys. We're back with another book read for this week. This week, I think we're going to be working with the idea of listening and minding what we hear. Um, I often hear from parents the much difficult task of working with our kids who have sometimes trouble listening or hearing what they're saying. Parents often will say, my child doesn't follow directions. It's got to be like one of the most common things I hear. And for us as kids, I used to be a kid, hearing our parents or our teachers tell us that you don't listen, you're not following instructions, can make us just feel so bad. And yet sometimes there's a reason why we didn't hear what was said, or we weren't paying attention because something else caught our attention. And so, whether it's our child ignoring us or something that you said just wasn't loud enough or we didn't hear it, I think the book that I have here will best kind of illustrate some of the struggles of what it feels like for us as young kids, or in this case, Elly the elephant, um, our struggles at listening and hearing, and maybe even some solutions for parents and caregivers and teachers and those of us who have kids that we're taking care of. What are some of the strategies that we can use to get through to our kids or to keep our kids' attention? Because usually it's about keeping the attention. I think so. What do you think? Anyway, I'm about to read this book. It's called The Elephant with Small Ears. Look at those ears. They're about the same size as maybe my ear. Kinda, a little bit, but they're a little too small for an elephant's ear, which are way big. Huh. Anyway, let's see what her journey is. Elly the elephant. This is Elly the elephant. She is very sad and scared. Elly is scared because she lives with a new mommy and daddy. She does not know them yet. Because Elly is so scared, her ears will not grow. That's really interesting, isn't it? An elephant with small ears, you say? Hmm. They say an elephant with small ears gets into trouble. Ooh. With small ears, Elly is not able to listen and mind her mommy and daddy. I wonder why. When Elly's new mommy asked Elly to brush her teeth, her small ears did not hear mommy's words. Is it really her small ears? Mommy thought Elly was being disobedient, so she sent Elly to timeout. That's interesting. They don't see her ears compared to theirs? These are some of the things that I think about when I'm reading. Let me just continue. When Daddy asked Elly to eat her dinner, her small ears did not hear his words. Wow. Elly's daddy sent her away and took her favorite toy. He thought she was not listening and minding. When Mommy asked Elly to sit in her chair, Elly's small ears did not hear the words. Elly's mommy yelled at Elly. She thought Elly was not listening and minding. Then one day, a wise elephant told Elly's new mommy and daddy, Elly's ears are small because she's scared. Please do not punish her for having small ears. The next day, Elly's mommy asked her to brush her teeth. Understanding Elly was scared, her mommy looked into her eyes, gave her a hug, and helped her brush her teeth. In that moment, Elly was not scared, and her mommy praised her for listening and minding. And because Elly was not so scared, her ears began to grow. Elly's daddy asked Elly to finish her dinner. Elly still did not hear his words. Instead of sending Elly to her room and taking away her favorite toy, he gazed into her eyes, gave her a hug, and kindly asked her to finish her dinner. In that moment, Elly was not scared, and she was able to eat her meal. After she ate, her daddy told her, "Good job listening and minding." And because Elly was less scared, her ears grew even more. Elly's mommy asked Elly to sit in her chair. Elly still did not hear her words. But instead of yelling at Elly, her mommy gave her a big hug, looked her into her eyes, looked her in her eyes, and asked how she could help Elly sit in her chair. In that moment, Elly was able to accept help sitting in her chair. Her loving parents told her, "Good job listening and minding." And because Elly was no longer scared, her ears grew even bigger. Elly's ears grew so big, she was able to hear her mommy and daddy's words all the time. Her mommy and daddy praised her often for listening and minding, and Elly felt happy and safe in her new home. That was wonderful. Oh my God. Just thinking about how Elly struggled with something that she couldn't really help. I mean, who can help having small ears? And that those small ears make it really difficult to hear. And who can also help the frustration that builds up when you're not able to recognize something that might be keeping another person from doing something that you really feel they need to pay attention to, listen to, be obedient to. Rules, for example, in a house. That frustration is intense, I am so sure. I've experienced that. And I'm sure you have too. But notice that the parents got wise words. Sometimes it's important to seek counsel and help, or maybe just insight from somebody who isn't so closely attached to the situation. Somebody who has some space, as they say, objective space away. To gain that insight is so crucial to having what I think the parents had, which was a breakthrough. They actually heard what was being said and they reevaluated the situation. Thanks to them. And oh my God, how fortunate for Elly to finally have a different, let's say, presence from her parents. It really was the presence, wasn't it? Like they looked into their dear baby's eyes and gave her reassurance. Hugs, hugs. I love hugs. And then helped her where she was struggling, you know? So I think that sometimes those little strategies for parents, this is, and for caregivers, strategies such as the one that the parents used can really be the difference in our kids' behavior. Um, and can really, I don't know, change the entire dynamic that's happening within the house. And also, it just feels good when you see those changes. So, usually, with all of these books that Cindy R. Lee does, she has a page in the front, little helpful tips for parents, and maybe some exercises. Um, Listening and minding here, it says, offer choices. Sharing power with your child is powerful. Offering choices increases the likelihood that your child will participate because the child feels safe and valued. For example, you can say, it is time to do your homework. Would you like to start it now or in 5 minutes? Or, we need to have a vegetable with lunch. Would you like to eat carrots or a salad? And teach the art of compromise. Once you teach your child how to compromise, they feel empowered to communicate their needs to you. For example, you offer choices such as, it is time to do your homework. Would you like to start it now or in 5 minutes? However, the child may have another choice in mind that is acceptable. They can then ask, may I please have a compromise? May I please finish this show and then start my homework? Teaching a child to verbalize their needs and follow instructions is priceless. Compromising and negotiation are needs that are incredibly important skills for adults and children alike. And notice how in the book you saw the parents do a few things. But one of those things that they did was what I just mentioned a little while ago, which was loving eye contact. Um, Gain loving eye contact when giving instructions. So before giving those instructions, you want to make sure that you're focused on your child and that you really lean in, really make eye contact. Don't be afraid to look a little longer, even when it may feel uncomfortable for the kid. It really is about you creating that sense of presence. You know, what does it say here? Um, oh, it says gaining eye contact is the most important suggestion. If they have a history of not listening and minding, you can remain close until they start to move. So, remaining close, keeping eye contact. Um, don't expect the child to hop right up. If you want success, walk over to them. Communicate your needs with smiles. Um, please don't escalate. Sometimes when we're frustrated, we can escalate our voice and we can become incredibly angry. Not a helpful tip, right? Um, Model respectful communication. It's important to say please when we ask our children to do something. We're trying to teach them how to be respectful, and they learn this from watching and listening to us. For example, rather than saying go brush your teeth, we need to model with please go brush your teeth. Or I think it's time to brush our teeth. How about we do this together? Would that be okay? Speak affectionately with detail and praise. Asking your child to do something in a vague manner can be confusing. For example, if you ask your child to eat his veggies or her veggies, she or he may take a bite or two without knowing that you're asking him to eat all of the veggies. But if you ask your child to eat 5 bites of peas, he will eat 5 bites of peas. In addition, offering praise makes things more fun and feels safer, you know? For example, you can say, please go brush your teeth, and when you come back, I will give you a high five. When they come back, give them a high five and tell them, I am so proud of you for listening and minding. And of course, all of these instructions should be age appropriate, but these are just wonderful tips. Wonderful tips. They work with adults too. I have to tell you, you know, after these book reads, I've been utilizing some of these approaches in my just daily life with both kids and adults. Um, we have here, wow, look at this. We also have an activity. Gadget, get and give. That's the name of it. Gadget, get and give. It says here, play is the most effective way to teach a child a new skill. So try this fun game. Gadget, get and give. Gather 5 small gadgets or objects. While your child is watching, set them in various places around the room. Have your child stand in front of you and gain eye contact. So eye contact again. Ask your child with respect to get them the first item and bring it back to you. Have them respond with, okay, daddy, or okay, mommy, after you give them the instruction. Each time they bring it back, give them a high five and say, good job listening and minding. You can even give the child a turn at giving commands. If you are both having fun, they are learning. That's awesome. So anyway, that was The Elephant with Small Ears and all of the lovely things that they did as parents of this small, beautiful elephant to change the dynamic and to help that elephant grow those ears, grow that mind, and most importantly, grow that heart. Anyway, thank you for joining me for another book read. I'll have another one coming up soon. I hope you guys are staying healthy and sane and happy and moving. Healthy is a important um, fight that we have on our hands with so much going on. This crisis has created so much, I don't know, unexpected emotions and energies, and sometimes it can be really difficult to just kind of get going, to get moving. But movement gets the blood flowing, it gets the heart beating, um, and it's so key to our health. So hopefully you guys are moving about with respect to the social distancing. And I hope you guys are staying warm. And most importantly, I hope you guys are doing the work of love. I'll see you next week with another book read. Bye.